Good evening, children. I hope you have done well in your exams. So, now we shall start a new chapter, that is Earth movements. Now, in this chapter, we shall learn about the movement that originates within the Earth crust. We shall also learn about fold and faults. We shall learn about the vertical and the horizontal movement of the Earth. We shall also learn about various kinds of landforms. We'll learn about volcanoes and its formation. We'll also learn about earthquake, the effect of earthquake. All these things we shall learn in this chapter. Now we all know that the land surface on the earth is not same or equal in each and every places. Some places are low, some places are very high, some places are between the high and the low, right? Okay, and these landforms took about millions of years to develop and reach its present stage. Now the following major landforms are mountains, plateaus or plateaus, and plain. I think you all have seen mountains in your books or in other pictures or in TVs. Now mountains are of great height that has sloping surface. Now most of the mountains in the world are created because of folding. Now you know folding, you fold a paper or you fold your clothes, something like that. We'll discuss that in a later part of this chapter. And in some cases, mountains were also formed when the ocean floor was raised. Like I think I have told you earlier that India in the very beginning was not in the place where it is now. It was somewhere attached with Africa. So it broke away from Africa and started to drift towards the north. And then it took millions of years, and then it came and rammed or dashed against the Eurasian plate. So the edge of the Eurasian plate, there was an ocean. So when the Indian plate that came drifting away from Africa came and collided, so when they collided, the ocean in between entire rose up and created the Himalayan mountain ranges. The next is plateau. Now the next landform is plateau or plateaus. Now these are also known as tableland, that is a plain that is situated at a height is called as a plateau. They are higher than the plains but lower than the mountains. And these plateaux are very rich in minerals. And in India, this almost the entire southern part is a plateau that has been formed by uplifting of the earth crust without any bending or twisting. And the highest plateau in the world is Tibet, and that's why Tibet is also known as the roof of the world. And the next major landform is the plain, where most of the activities or human activities, we can say, take place in and around the world. Now much of the plain is being formed by the silt, sand, or mud that is being brought down by the rivers from the mountain. And these silt, they get accumulated when they reach the lower section of the river, that is the lower course, and then during flood the silt come out and get deposited in the nearby areas, and that is the basin. And it keeps on happening almost every year, and as a result a vast area of alluvial plain is being formed. For example, the entire northern plains of our country is formed in this manner. So this was just an introduction regarding mountain, plateau and plain. Now, before going deep into this chapter about the movement, first of all, we have to know what exactly makes the earth move. Now here we're not talking about the rotation or the revolution. That's a complete different movement that one causes day and night, and other causes season. But here we're talking about the movement inside the earth and outside the earth, that is internal forces and the external forces. Now the next that we'll discuss is about plate tectonics. And the earth moves on these plates. We have 7 main plates and the other subplates. All total we have around 15 plates, and they are all adjacent plates. That means they are very close to each other. Going into the plate, let's go back millions of years back, when the earth was in its formation period. Slowly it cooled down, and the top part of the earth became hard as it cooled down, which we call as a crust. Now as you can see in the map, the world map, you'll see different continents, 7 continents, big land masses in different parts of the earth. But if you look very carefully, you will see that the earth, the whole world map, is like a puzzle, a jigsaw puzzle, where somewhere or the other it gets fit. I will send you the link when in the group later on. There you can watch it and you can have a clear idea. Now in the very beginning, earth was a supercontinent that was called as Pangaea, and in the middle we had a sea, that is the Tethys Sea, which is now known as the Mediterranean Sea. Then slowly the supercontinent Pangaea broke into 2 parts. One became the top part Gondwana, the lower part Gondwana and the upper part Laurasia. And again further, these 2 continents, Gondwana and Laurasia, further drifted apart, and that's where these plates came into existence. And these plates, they keep on moving. They have 3 types of movement. The plate move in 3 different types. One is compression or conversion, that is they move towards each other. Now you know this idea. If you put your both palm in front of you, the hand, and then bring close together, and you'll see what point of time these 2 palms will touch. So this is known as conversional force or compressional force. This is how the plate moves, one movement. Secondly, the plate move away from each other. That is known as tension force or tensional force. They move away, they drift away. And that's what caused India to break away from Africa and then come and collide with the Eurasian plate. And the third movement is sliding. That is, if you just put your palms together and you'll understand, and move one palm back and one palm forward. So that's the sliding. So this is the 3 way how the plates move. And when these plates move, they unleash a massive forces. The more amount of pressure that is being built below, and the more the force is, and that's when you have this volcanic eruption or the earthquake. It's all because of these plates movement. But the fact, we hardly notice this movement. Even now, when you're listening to me, the plate is moving, but the movement of this plate is very, very slow because of its mass or extensive size. And these plate, the crust, they move upon the semi-liquid part of the mantle, that is on the atmosphere, if you remember the word atmosphere. So, and they move about 10 to 12 millimeter per year. Now, how do we know that this plate is moving? Now, if you see the Himalayas, the mountain range, its height is increasing. Now, the height of the Himalaya, what it was in the beginning, and now scientists have noticed the data that the height of the Himalayas has increased to 8 to 10 centimeter. And that's an example. These plates are moving because the Indian plate that lies in that's part of the continental plate. Now, plates are of two types. One is the continental plate and one is the ocean plate. So India lies in the ocean plate, and ocean plates are much heavier, so they subduct, that is they push, and as a result the Eurasian plate and the Indian plate are pushing against each other, and that is causing the Himalayas to rise. I hope you are clear with this tectonic movement. Now, constant changes have been taking place in the crust of the earth, like the volcanic eruption sometimes changes the landform, or the earthquake. Now, these volcanic eruption or earthquake are the sudden changes which we can notice, but some changes are very slow and we hardly notice them. Now, for example, the soil that you see across the whole earth. Now, this soil at first was not there. It's formed by the breaking down of rocks. After the rock has been broken down, it has been spread horizontally all across the world with the help of wind or river, you can say. So, the slow changes that have been taking place, the sediments have undergone changes and are found tilted or twisted or bent or sometimes even broken, and that's what we will discuss further, how the earth is tilted, how it is being bent or twisted or even broken, that causes different landforms. Also, a certain part of the world which were once same as the sea level has risen up, and some has gone down below the sea level, and they are sinking. For example, Maldives. I think you have heard the country called Maldives. So Maldives is sinking and it's a threat. Likewise, there was a region called as Scandinavia. It's somewhere now comprised of the countries like Netherlands and all. So that part was once same as the sea level, but now it is sinking, going down. So the earth movements, whether vertically or horizontally, has been responsible for creation of various landforms like the mountains, the plateaus, and even the valleys. Now, how the valley is formed? When two strata of rock, when a large or massive strata of rock, in between there is a crack and one part submerge or subsides or goes down, then that part which goes down forms the Rift Valley, and the top part becomes a block mountain. So even the Narmada and Tapi in India is believed to be formed in that way because of the sinking of the earth block. So that's all till here. Further, in the next class, we'll discuss about the vertical and the horizontal movement of the earth.